from the start. Let's start. First, important theory we'll be covering because these definitions are also equally important and you need to understand the concept. After that, we'll be covering the numericals. Okay. So if the frequency, first topic is frequency. If the value of the variable, example, discrete or continuous. What is discrete? What is continuous? Sure. Every word we'll discuss first and then we'll go ahead. So if the value of the variable, whether it's discrete or continuous, discrete means what? Separable. Separable means what? 1, 2, 3, separable. Each can be separated. Continuous means what? Suppose like this, 0 to 5, 5 to 10. These are all continuous variables. So which occur in a you can say a gap or you can say a fixed interval. Okay. So if the value of the variable discrete or continuous, example height, weight, income occurs twice or more in a given series of observations, okay, twice or more in a given series of observations, then the number of occurrences of the value is termed as frequency. So this is an important definition from exam point of view. In exam, this word twice or more will be important for you. Okay. So anything which appears twice or more will be called as frequency. In exam, sometimes you get the numericals also. In that numerical, the frequency is 1 upon 10. So that is the frequency. So that in numerical, you can write it 1. But remember, from the definition point of view, occurs twice or more is known as a frequency. The way of representing a data in form of table consisting of values of a variable with the corresponding frequencies is called as frequency distribution. What is distribution? The way of representing the data in form of table. Okay, in form of table means here. Suppose if I take this only 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15 and so on. So when I make the table out of this, okay, this is known as my class and this is known as my frequency. Okay, now I'll explain it. Suppose if I'm having these numbers 1, 2, 3, then let's say 3 again, then 3 again, then 4. Okay, and I start writing these classes now 0 to 5. Okay, 0 to 5. So let me make it like this. 0 to 5 means everything will be over here only. So let me make it 0 to 2. Let me make it smaller classes. Okay, 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 2 to 4, and then go on 4 to 6, so on. Okay, so 0 to 2, how many will be there? 0 to 2, how many are there from 0 to 2? Now remember, 0 to 2 means what? Will 2 be considered in this? No, 2 will be in the next class. Always 2 means 0 to 2 means less than 2. Okay, so here the frequency is 1 only. 2 to 4, 2 to 4. Now look at this. Starting from 2 over here, then 3, 3, 3, and now 4 will be there. No, 4 will be in the next class. So this is 4 times. So this becomes 0 to 4 is 4. So this is known as a frequency. And this table is known as frequency distribution table, in which I arrange it in proper manner. So representing the frequency in form of a table so that it is easily understood. Okay, so that is frequency distribution table. Class boundaries. So now there are two types of class boundaries. Remember, what is the class boundary? I'll give you a simple example. Now, just now we saw the classes means what? 0 to 5, 5 to 10. Now it can be two types. What are the two types? Let's say I divide it like this. How? Let me think. Let's keep it simple. 10 to 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24. Look at this. Both are inclusive over here. Okay, 10 is also included, 14 is also included. So suppose if I get 10, where will I place this 10 over here in this group? Suppose if I get 14, where will I place this over in this group? Suppose if I get 17, I'll place it in this group. I get 19, I'll place it in this group, second group. Okay, I get 24, I'll place it in this third group. So this group where the upper and the lower boundary is included is known as inclusive group. Inclusive. Okay, got it? Inclusive means where the upper and the lower boundary is limit, you can call it maximum, minimum. Those are included is known as inclusive class. And what is exclusive then? Now if I have to convert this, here, in, inclusive classes can be converted to exclusive classes. So it has to be, while solving any numerical, inclusive class has to be converted to exclusive class. What do you mean by this? See this, it's like this. This 10, what will I do? I'll take 0.5 on the other side, earlier side, and 14 I'll take 0.5 on the other later side. Okay, so it will be what? 9.5, and here 14.5. Now the second part, 15 I'll take 0.5 on the other side, so it is 14.5 and 19.5. This now 20 I'll take it 19.5 and then 24.5 and so on. I'll go on and on and on. So what does it mean? See, this is known as exclusive. Exclusive. This earlier one was inclusive. Now what do you mean by this? It means that, see, this boundary over here, it won't be included. Now understand, it's not compulsory that both the boundaries are not included. For example, in this, suppose if I get 14.5 as a number, 14.5. So that 14.5 will not be included in this, but it will be included in this. So exclusive doesn't mean both the boundaries are excluded. It can be either one boundary or both the boundaries, or the upper boundary or the lower boundary. Anything is called as exclusive. So in this case, generally what we follow in your CAIIB is, we follow that any number, okay, which is on the boundary will always be included in the next class. Means 14.5, I'll be including it over here. 19.5, I'll be including it over here. Okay, so that is the meaning of exclusive and inclusive. While solving any numerical, this is the important discrimination. This is the important class. We never use inclusive class while solving the numericals. Never ever. We always use exclusive. Even if you have inclusive class, you have to convert it to exclusive. You have to convert it, remember, okay? And the new class intervals is called as class boundaries. Okay, now this is remaining thing is simple. The same thing I have explained you. Okay, let's move on. You can read this if you want. Okay. Everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, you will be getting the latest updates plus this from IABF plus free YouTube series. Okay, that's why subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon immediately. Okay, free YouTube series. Right now you are watching the same. So you'll be getting the same in the channel. Now, how to join this series? There are 2-3 ways. One is you can join our Telegram channel. So this class, scan this blue code. Just expand this and scan this blue code. Okay, similarly this black code, QR code. Scan it to get your YouTube channel. Similarly this Insta you can just scan it and you'll get it on the Insta. Why joining this all these channels? Why should you join? Because we share, remember, 2-3 things. Okay, 2-3 important things we share over here. What are those? See, remember, we share importantly the free YouTube series. Okay, secondly, free questions, you get it over here. Free questions tests, you get it over here. Okay, so that's why you should join this immediately. The type of cumulative frequency where the frequencies are added starting from the highest class to the lowest class is called as highest to lowest. Now what do you mean by this? Suppose if these are the classes, let me explain it. Suppose if the classes are, let me make it simple, okay, 0 to 5. Class means what? Upper limit, lower limit. 5 to 10, 10 to 15 and so on. Okay, okay, let's take 3 classes, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. Now suppose if I arrange them in this way, what? 10 to 15, then below I go 5 to 10, then below I go 0 to 5. In that case, if I go in this way, it is called as what? This is the question. The type of cumulative frequency where the frequencies are added starting from the highest class to the lowest class is known as what? Relative frequency, percentage frequency, less than cumulative and greater than cumulative. What is it called as? Type in the comment section. Everyone, let me see. Type it in the comment section. Name itself, नाम ही काफी है. What is the name? Where is it starting from? It is starting from the highest one. So that's why greater than, isn't it? Navi kafi, that's what. If you are arranging it in this way, see, this is greater than, I'll write it over here. GT, I'll just write it, okay? Greater than. And if I arrange it like this, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, okay? Then what do I get? I get less than, LT. Okay, this less than, okay? Got it clear? Next one. The following table gives less than type frequencies distribution of income per day. What is the income? Which income is a mode? So I want a mode now. So look at this. This is known as a class, and this is known as the frequency. So which one is this? Frequency. Which is the maximum frequency? Mode means what? Any class which is having the maximum frequency. So which is the maximum frequency over here? 100. So the model class is this 1500. Simple, isn't it? In exam such numericals, if you get, it is just a cakewalk for you. Okay. The data of some workers is given 2300. All these things numbers are given. If the desired number of class intervals is 10, what is the class width? Now this you might have done earlier. I might have taken it earlier also. See here, it's very simple. Firstly, let me see how many of you are answering this. So suppose if it is like this, see, width equals to range divided by number. Number means this number of class, how many intervals are required. What is range? Range equals to highest minus lowest, h minus n. What is the highest one now over here? Tell me, highest. Which number is highest? 23, 24, 25, 21, 2000, 22, blah, 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 blah. This 3000. So 3000 minus which is the lowest? 2000. So it is 1000, right? 1000. So what is my width then? Width equals to 1000 upon number. What is the number? 10. So my class width will be 100. So this is my answer. Okay. Everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material, plus live classes, ebooks, tests. Whatever we require for clearing JIB and CIB, we get it over here. Immediately download and start studying. Not just download. Okay, start studying. Okay. The class where the upper and the lower limits are also in the class interval is called as. Have we done this? No, I was explaining you at that time. Yeah. So this is the same question which we have done it. Upper and the lower limits are also in the class interval. So they are in the class interval. So it is called as exclusive, inclusive, discrete, continuous. Which is this? Upper and the lower are also in the class interval. Just now I told you, right, that what 10 to 14, 15 to 19, right? So upper and lower, I told you, if I get 14, it will be in this class, right? So this is known as inclusive, right? And then we have to convert this to exclusive. I've shown you earlier, so we won't be repeating it now, okay? The following table gives the distribution of 100 families according to their expenditure. Find a model class. Simple. Let me see who can give me the fastest answer. Model class. Model means what? Just now we did model. What was mode? Model means that class which is having the highest frequency. So which is having the highest frequency? Number of families. This is F. Remember, class is always this class, or we call it X also. X or class only, call it X class. Because for this class we have a class mark. That's a separate part. We'll do this someday else. So which is the model class over here? Highest frequency 27. So which is the model class? This. Now if you want to find the mode of this, there is a separate formula. That's a big formula. Okay. So that's why I would suggest you to join the paid classes over here. Okay. The runs scored by the batsman for 5 ODIs are this. Find the mean, median and mode. Okay, simple one. Let's do it. Mean. Okay. What is the mean? Mean means average. Okay. Mean is always average. Average. So what is the average? Total then. 31 plus 97 plus 112 plus 63 plus 12. Okay. 31 plus 97. Now do it. By the time I write it, you do it, everyone. 112 plus 63 plus 12. Okay. So what is the answer? This total, the whole upon number of elements 5. So this will be my mean, whatever that answer is. Okay, everyone do it. Let me see who is getting the answer over here. Yeah, who's getting it? Everyone, do it fast. See, exams are near, so you need to do it fast. Yeah, everyone. Yeah. So what is it? Let me see. Yeah, 31 plus 97 plus 112 plus 63 plus 12, right? So total is 315. 315 divided by 5. That is what? 63. 63 is my mean, right? Mean is 63. Median. What about the median then? Median means always arrange them in the serial order. Means what? From the lowest to highest. We'll arrange them in ascending order. 12. Then what is the next one? After 12, the blah 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 31. 31. After 31, 63. After 63, 97. After 97, 112. Okay, so which is the median? The central one. This is my median. Okay, mode means which occurs maximum number of times. Who's occurring maximum number of times? None of them is repeated, so all are modes. All.
Welcome to Officer Adda 24/7, and my name is Suprabha and I'm your ABM English Medium Mentor. So today we are going to start the Module B's question itself, right? So this is your Module B question, and today I have taken the question from the transaction analysis, right? See, in the chapter of that is development of HR, okay? That is a very important chapter in Module B. The development of HR, that is, okay? So this chapter is actually a very important chapter, right? If I'm talking about your exam point of view, that at least this chapter, it covers normally around 8 to 10 question, okay? So you can cover almost 8 to 10 question from this, only this chapter, right? So now what is the, right, यहाँ पे देखिए, so what is the transaction analysis exactly is? See, when we are talking to someone, when we are interacting someone, at that point of time, our personality, it reflects, sometimes it is like a child, sometimes it is like a parent and adult, and so we have to balance between the need of the other two. So which ego state actually balance the need of the other two? See, transaction analysis is actually that is given by the Eric Berne, okay? And he has given that when you are interacting with someone, sometimes you behave like a parent, sometimes you behave like a child, sometimes you behave like an adult. Parent is what? The behavior which you actually copied from your parent, okay? Adult is what? That is your reasonable behavior, okay? Logical behavior, that is. And child behavior is what? That is exactly reflected from your childhood memories. So that is your child ego state, right? So these are the three ego state we have, okay? Now there are two type of transaction. One is the complementary transaction, and the second one is the cross transaction, right? Complementary is what? Complementary is actually whatever someone is expecting from you, okay? Something is expecting from you, the same answer you gave them, that is a complementary. Cross means what? If you are expecting something, okay, but that person, he is not actually giving you the answer which you are actually expected from them, okay? So sometime actually they normally, okay, they normally actually, okay, wave like a sometimes they wave like a something else, okay? You are just interacting with normally, but they are waving like something else, okay? So that is we called it as a, okay, so that is we called it as a cross transaction. So in that, the question is the ego states, right? The question exactly is the ego state can be divided into the three part, that is child, parent and adult. ठीक है? So which one of these balances between the need of the other two? So basically that is your adult ego state. ठीक है? That is your adult ego state which actually balance your parent ego state and child ego state. ठीक है? So normally that is created the balance between these two. ठीक है? Adult ego state. Second question is transaction analysis, which is given by the Eric Berne. ठीक है? That is related to learning, that is related to attitude, that is related to perception, or that is related to personality. Tell me which one is the right answer? Which one is the right answer? Right. See, transaction analysis is actually, that is your personality test. ठीक है? That is completely related to the personality. So when you are interacting with someone, transaction analysis, that is actually given you the idea. Then when you are interacting with someone, ठीक है, that is whatever, right? So that is actually whatever it is reflecting is. ठीक है? So sometime we behave like a child also, sometime we behave like a parent also. ठीक है? Sometime we behave like a like child, parent and adult. ठीक है? These are the three stages we have. So when we are talking about the transaction analysis, that is actually the, ठीक है, that is what, that is actually your right, that is actually your transaction is related to your personality, that what personality is reflecting. ठीक है? When you are talking to someone. ठीक है? Understood? So that is a transaction analysis. That is a very, very important, and even it is having the significance in your Harris life position also. ठीक है? So that is actually very, very important. ठीक है? That is a transaction analysis, we called it as. ठीक है? चलिए, now when we are talking about the next question, that is a arrange 5-step procedure of bars. This is a very common question actually. First of all, please remember that what is the full form of the bars. ठीक है? That what is the full form of the bars? That is, bars is actually the behavioral anchored rating scale. ठीक है? So bars is what? Bars is actually the performance appraisal method. This is a very famous performance appraisal method, and this is a modern method as well. ठीक है? This is not the traditional method. This is actually your right, that is actually your modern method of performance appraisal. So what happened here is, see, in this actually, first of all, critical incident will be generated. ठीक है? So of course this one is the wrong answer. First of all, this is the first step. Critical incident will be generated. ठीक है? Then after that, what happened here is identify the performance dimension. ठीक है? Then you have to identify the performance dimension, right? Then reclassify the incident and rate the incident. Finally, you develop the final instrument. So basically, actually, in this type of method, you have tried to focus on the behavioral parameter. ठीक है? There is a behavioral parameter you focus upon, right? So based on that behavioral parameter, you normally, ठीक है, you normally frame, you normally prepare this type of scale to measure your performance, to measure the performance of the employee. So finally, the final one is the, that is develop the final instrument. So that is E, right? Now the next question here is, that is repetitive one. Which group development stage find member being more tolerant of each other and accepting of the diverse perspective and personality that each member bring to the group. That is storming, norming, forming and performing. That is F, S, N, CP. Okay? These are the 5 stages of group development which is given by the Tuckman. Actually Tuckman, he has given these 3 stages FSN, PA. Okay? But in your ABM book, these are the 5 stages which is given. Right? So what is the group development stage? See, the group development stage is actually, okay, whenever you are, right, whenever you are growing in the group, okay, you have joined the group, right, someone has worked for you, okay, so that is when the group is growing. At that point of time, what happened here is, at that point of time, okay, at that point of time, that is related to your forming, storming, norming, confirming, that is cooperation and the performing. Okay, so what is the forming stages? Here we are talking about the which group development stage find member being more tolerant to each other. Now they are respecting to each other. Okay, forming is just about the interacting with each other. The first time you are interacting with each other. Storming is actually your conflict stage. That is your conflict stage. Norming is, so your answer is norming actually. So norming is what? When you have started to respect each other feeling. Okay. Forming is you are just forming the group, and storming is when the conflict begin. Okay. Norming is what? Norming is actually where you have started to respect each other. Okay. Then confirming and last is the performing. So here the answer is, that is norming, right? B is the right answer. Next is, during this stage of team development, member may find that their initial expectation of the team are far different than the realities of trying to accomplish something together. So which one is the right answer? That is forming, storming, norming or performing. Tell me which one is the right answer. Okay, so which one is the right answer? See, when we are talking about the, that is during the stage of the team development, member may find that their initial expectation of the team are far different than the realities trying to accomplish their something together. Okay, forming is something else. That is actually your storming stage, where actually the conflict is begin. Okay, so the right answer is, that is storming. So what is the storming stage? Is exactly the storming stage where actually your conflict begin. Okay, that is your, when the conflict is begin. Okay, so that is where conflict begin, right? So that is your storming stage, right? Now what is the EI? EI is actually, that is your ability. Okay, so that is your ability to understand your emotion and to understand other person's emotion as well. Okay, so here we have the 5 component of EI: self-regulation, empathy, social skills, self-motivation. Okay, so these are some 5 element of the EI. Very, very important. Normally the question, IIB, they ask actually question from this area as well. So what is the EI is all about? The EI is all about to understand your emotion and to understand other person's emotion as well, right? And we have the 5 component in the EI, right? So that is, okay, so that is, these are the 5 component. Okay, so these are the 5 component, right? Chali. So here what is the question is? The question is EI is categorized by, the option 1 is, that is proficient in problem solving. B is better interpersonal relation, C is high abstract, ठीक है, thinking ability, and D is that is good sense of humor, right? So when we are talking about the EI, that means your rapport, your social skills, your empathy, right? These all skills you have, right? Your self-regulation, your self-motivation, your empathy skills, your social skills. That means you easily build the network. Okay, whenever you are in the group, whenever you meet the stranger, they will feel familiar with you. Okay, so here we are talking about the better interpersonal relationship. Okay, correct. So that is what EI is all about. Okay, EI is being smart about emotional situation, never get angry, the ability to understand, manage and use your emotion, and none of the above. Tell me, which one is the right answer? So which one is the right answer according to you? Right? See, here the answer is all about, that is the ability to understand, manage and use our emotion. Okay? So EI is all about, when that is the actually ability, right? To understand your emotion and to understand other person's emotion as well. Okay? So that is, we called it as a EI. Okay? चलिए. Okay, so that is called it as a C. Emotional intelligence is actually, that is the ability to understand your emotion and to understand other person's emotion as well, right? We have the five element. Please remember all the five element. Okay, one is self regulation. Okay, then self motivation, right? Empathy, social skills. ठीक है, so these are the five component, right? These are the five component of EI, that is emotional intelligence, right? First one is what? That is, first one is all about your self awareness. ठीक है, that I have not written. The self awareness is what? ठीक है, सेल्फ अवेयरनेस इज व्हाट? द नॉलेज ऑफ योर ओन थॉट, फीलिंग एंड मोटिवेशन. ठीक है, सेल्फ रेगुलेशन इज व्हाट? सेल्फ रेगुलेशन इज बेसिकली दैट इज अ एबिलिटी टू रेगुलेट योर इमोशन एंड एक्शन इन अ वैरायटी ऑफ एनवायरमेंट. What is the meaning of empathy? Empathy is the capacity to empathize and normally appreciate another perspective. ठीक है, social skills is that is you are able to create and maintain the healthy relationship. You are very comfortable to maintain the relationship. So here we are talking about the C. Which one is not the component of the EI? Okay, that I have already told you. So this question of course became very easy. Self awareness, self regulation, self motivation and self intelligence. So which one is the right answer? Tell me. Right? So what can be the right answer here? that I have already explained you, that is self-intelligence. That is not the component of EI. Okay, so this is a very common question. Normally every year the IIBF they will ask this question. Okay, so self-intelligence is not the part of the EI. I'm Suprabha, your ABM English medium mentor, right? So today we are going to start with the module D, right? As you know that we have already done so many questions from the module B. Now today I'm going to start your module D, that is, right? So as you know that in ABM there are 4 modules A, B, C, D, right? And I am taking care of B module and D module. So we have done so many questions from HRM module. Now I'm going to start with the D module. So what is this module is all about? Module D. See, this module is having total 7 chapters, right? So if I'm talking about the weightage part, then definitely this module is having approx it will be like 24 to 25 marks, right? The weightage would be around 25 marks approximately, we can say that, right? This is a newly added module, so 25 marks we can say that. And it consists 7 chapter total. The first chapter is the compliance function in the bank, then compliance audit, then compliance governance structure, then the framework for identification of compliance issue and compliance risk. Then the 5th chapter is, that is compliance culture and GRC framework, then compliance function and role of CCO in the NBFCs and fraud and vigilance in the bank. So when as far as the first chapter is concerned, that is compliance function in the bank. Okay, so this chapter is all about your compliance policy, that how compliance function, right, it will be normally how it will be treated in the organization, especially in the bank. So what is the compliance policy, right? Who is the CCO? What is the designation of what is the tenure of CCO, that is Chief Compliance Officer. So all these topics we are going to cover in the compliance function in the bank. So what is the compliance exactly is? See, the compliance is basically when we are covering the all the rule, all the regulation, right? That is, we called it as a compliance. Compliance is the adherence of all the rule, all the regulation which is given by the RBI, Ministry of Finance, internal circular. That is, we called it as a compliance. So definitely, if when we are talking about the bank, then definitely compliance function is very necessary. Otherwise, RBI, according to the BR Act and RBI Act, RBI can impose the penalty on the bank, right? They can impose. If any bank they are not following the compliances, then RBI can impose the penalty. Recently, as you know that RBI has already imposed the penalty of on Paytm, right? Paytm, they have already imposed the penalty because they were not following the compliances. So that's why they have right, they have actually imposed the penalty on the Paytm bank. So what is a compliance audit? Compliance audit is normally conducted to check that whether the bank is following the compliances or not, right? So as you know that what is a compliance audit, we have to cover here forensic audit, then concurrent audit, snap audit, right? And then internal audit. All these audits we have to cover in the compliance audit. Then apart from that, we have to cover the auditing standard, okay, accounting standard, that is where that is also we have to cover. Not all the accounting standard, only 6 to 7 accounting standard we have to cover here. AS 9, AS 15, AS 20, 21, 25. So only 6 or 7 accounting standard are there. Then we have to cover the LODR, that is listing of disclosure requirement, right? That also we have to cover in the LODR regulation, right? So this chapter is very important when we are talking about the exam point of view. Definitely it is a important chapter. Then the third chapter is compliance governance structure. As you know that in the bank, normally bank they have to report their compliance to the ZO or RO, right? And zonal office and regional office, they have to report their compliance to the HO. Then in HO, all the functional department, they normally report their compliances to the CCO in the HO. And all the overseas branch, suppose I'm working in the SBI and they are having the branch in the New York. So all the overseas branch, they have to report their compliances to directly to the chief compliance officer in the bank, right? So that is compliance governance structure is all about. Then the fourth chapter is, that is framework of identification of compliance issue and compliance risk, right? Here we have to cover the inherent risk, we have to cover the residual risk, and what is the framework, then what is the timeline, okay? What is the timeline to submit the compliance certificate to the HO and later on to the CCO, right? So that is a framework is given there, that overseas branches monthly basis they have to submit the compliances. All the branches every quarter they have to submit the compliance, okay, before closing of the 10 days. Then all the ZO and RO, then all the functional department in the HO, they have to submit their compliances to the CCO directly every quarter within 5 days of the closure of the month. So these all are the some criterias are there, very important one, right? Then the next chapter is compliance culture and GRC framework, right? Here we have to cover the whistleblower policy, we have to cover a very important. In PPB you have already covered some part in module D, that what is the whistleblower policies. Who is the whistleblower? Who raises his voice against any wrongdoing which is happening in the company. So what is the GRC framework? GRC framework is a tool which cover governance, risk and compliances in the bank. So again, PITP resolution and the whistleblower act, these two topics are very important from this chapter, compliance culture and GRC framework. And again, GRC framework, in a month of June actually there was one case study from this topic, that is GRC framework. 5 marks case study was there. Okay, so it is a very important topic. Then the next chapter is compliance function and role of CCO in the NBFC. Earlier actually what happened is that earlier there was no regulation from the RBI side, but in the year of 2022 in October month RBI has divided NBFC into the different layer, that is a base layer, middle layer, top layer and upper layer, and according to that layer they have divided the scale based regulation. That means these all are the guideline, prudential guideline, capital guideline, okay, and governance guideline. So that is actually according to the layer of the NBFCs. If base layer is there, then definitely the guidelines are much lighter, okay, much easier actually as compared to the NBFC, UL and ML. But for NBFC and ML and UL, that the guidelines which is given by the RBI, that is more on a tougher side, right? Then the next part of this chapter is, that is role of chief compliance officer in the NBFC. So again, that is a repetition of the first chapter. In the first chapter we will cover what is the role of CCO with respect to the bank, but in this chapter we have to cover that what is the role of the CCO with respect to the NBFC. Okay, so that is the difference only, otherwise all the content are same. Okay, so this module D is not a difficult one, definitely it is a very easier. Okay, and easily even you can cover 25 marks from module D itself, right? So it is a very easy, you will feel very comfortable in module D, right? Then the next the last chapter is fraud and vigilance. So approx 8 to 10 marks, I can say 8 marks you can cover from fraud and vigilance. Very important and little bit lengthy chapter also, and this chapter is a different from the previous ones, right? So in this chapter we have to cover that what is a minor penalty, what is a major penalty, then we have to cover that what is a vigilance function in the bank, then what is the inquiry procedure in the bank, what is the different type of fraud which we need to cover in the fraud and vigilance in the bank, and what is the role of disciplinary authority in the bank. So all these we have to cover, and here I am going to share with my the personal experience, because I was working as a in the IR department and in the vigilance department in Bank of India. So definitely I am going to share my personal experience here also. Like what is the first stage advice, what is the second stage advice, how the procedure will be conducted for the inquiry. So all these we are going to cover in the fraud and vigilance in the bank. So these are the 7 chapters which we have to cover in the module. And very again I'm saying very important module, and very you can say easier module also. Easier means in terms of if you have the good memory, if you can retain the concept, then definitely this is the module for you. Of course it is a then easier one. So approx 25 marks you can cover from here, right? So now we can begin with the chapter, begin with the question answer round. Okay, so one second. So here I am taking the first question from the compliance function, right? This is the first question, that is compliance rules are framed by bank in terms of statutory guideline especially pertaining to. See, what is the meaning of compliance? The compliance is when you are adhering to all the rule, all the regulation in the bank. Okay? So compliance rule, normally in the bank, the compliance rule are related to, these are the only 3 categories. Otherwise, the compliance rule, it can be from the several category in the bank, right? We have the outsourcing policy, we have the HR policy, there are so many guidelines, right? So when we are talking about the statutory guideline, especially pertaining to, option A is KYC, AML, CFT guideline, B is deposit and services, C is advances and FEMA guideline, and D is all of the above. So which one is the right answer? Tell me, which one is the right answer? I'm just checking your comment. Right? So which one is the right one? Praveerji, actually you are asking about that how you can download the YouTube session free PDF. See, you can check the app, that is Adda app, where actually we normally uploaded so many PDF which is related to ABM, ABFM, HR elective and BFM. Okay, so you can just download the app, right? And that app actually that will provide you the free PDF also, right? So from there you can check all the PDF, right? So what is the compliance rule are framed by bank in terms of statutory guideline pertaining to, all of the above is the right answer. Question 2, which of the following is a statutory regulation? The guideline from SEBI, guideline from RBI, legislation under RBI Act, and guideline from Adda. So this is a question from your book itself. So what can be the right answer? Tell me which can be the right answer? Right? See, here the right answer is, when we are talking about the statutory regulation, that means we are talking about the act. That means we are talking about the laws. So the answer is C, that is. Now question 3, the scope of compliance function does include one of the following: the code of conduct issued by the ICWA, listing agreement, internal guideline, and regulatory compliance. Which one is the right answer? Tell me. The scope of compliance function include one of the following. This is also question from your book itself. The right answer is, that is code of conduct which is issued by the ICWA, right? Then we have the question of which one of the following is not one of the primary element of the strong organizational compliance program: a written code of conduct, significant financial expenditure, a formal ethics training program, and the ethics officer. Which one is the right answer, which is not the part of the organizational compliance program? The right answer is formal ethics training program. That is not from the compliance program part, right? The forgery is an offense related to, this is actually the question from the fraud and vigilance. See, there is a difference between the fraud and the forgery. Okay, fraud is what? To cheat someone, right? To cheat someone. Forgery is what? that means forgery is what? The forgery is all about your, that is to, right? That is actually to, forgery is all about to alteration in the genuine document or to submit the false document, right? So normally forgery will lead to the fraud. Ultimately forgery will lead to the fraud, right? So forgery is all about to giving the false document or maybe the alteration in the genuine document. Suppose I am taking the sick leave, right? And here I am submitting the false medical certificate, right? So that is, we called it as a forgery. Okay. Suppose I am submitting the LFC, right? And I am submitting the false bills, right? So that is related to the forgery. Submitting the alteration in the document or maybe the submitting the false bill. This comes under false document. This is the related to the document. Next question is, this is a very important question. It tried to formulate a web resource occupied or busy its user by flooding the URL of the victim with unlimited request, then the server can handle. This type of question actually in June CIB exam last year, the IBF has asked phishing attack, DOS attack, website attack or MITM attack. That is man in the middle attack. Which one is the right answer? Tell me. Okay. So here what is the right answer? Tell me which one is the right answer. Right. See here actually when we are one second. Right. Here actually when we are talking about the, that is try to formulate. So what we are talking about? See here actually when we are talking about that, it tries to formulate, right, a web source occupied or busy its users by flooding the URL of the victim with unlimited requests, then the server can handle. So that is a denial of service attack. Okay, that is a denial of service attack, that is where actually the web source that will be occupied or maybe the busy with the flooding the URL, right? So that is, and the flooding the URL of the victim with the unlimited request, then the server can handle, right? So that is a DOS attack, right? Denial of service. This type of message you will be getting. So on the paid class, I will explain you what is a phishing attack, what is a DOS, what is a website attack, and what is a man in the middle attack. The question number 10 is again man in the middle attack. What is a man in the middle attack? A third party interception between the two party conversation, a two party interception in the third party conversation, a interception in a third party conversation. This question is from the chapter number 32, last chapter, that is fraud and vigilance in the bank. A person that attacked from the middle. So of course he cannot be the answer. So now what can be the right answer? Tell me what can be the right answer here. Where we are talking about the man in the middle attack, right? See, man in the middle attack, that is actually the cyber attack, right? Where actually that is threat is there, the threat actor, the right, that person is, that third party is there, right, who puts normally themselves into the middle of the two party, typically the user and the application, and they intercept their communication and data exchange and use them for the malicious purpose, like making the unauthorized purchase or the hacking, right? So there are two parties are there. One is user and the other one is the application. And here we are having the man in the middle, MITM, right? So that is actually the not the last one. Okay, that is the wrong. It is a third party interception between the two party conversation, right? So basically the man in the middle attack, it is a type of the cyber attack only, in which threat actor, normally it is the attacker is there who put themselves into the middle of the two party, typically between the user and the application, and they intercept their communication and data exchange, right? So that's the man in the middle attack, right?
Hi friends, welcome to Adda 24/7. We're in the Scholar series of ABM. Here we are covering important theory, numericals and objective questions. So follow the series from the start. Let's start. What will be the schedule of the session? So we'll be talking of types of probabilities, that is the theory part, and then we'll be talking of probability numericals. Okay, so let's start. First, types of probabilities. Everyone, before that, how many of you have heard about these probability distributions? Type in the comment section yes. Have you studied this? Okay, firstly let me ask you a simple one. Have you studied this Bernoulli distribution? Or have you studied this probability distribution as such? Type in the comment section. Have you studied the probability distribution up till now? It's an important topic, okay? Yeah. Roughly around 8 to 10 marks. 8 marks roughly you consider it. Probability distribution. 8 marks. Okay. And in this probability distribution, you have three types of probabilities. One is Bernoulli, second is binomial, and third one is Poisson. Okay. So we'll study one by one. Bernoulli distribution is a discrete probability distribution where Bernoulli random variable can have either 0 or 1 as outcome. P is the probability of success and 1 minus P is the probability of failure. So some books call this 1 minus P as Q also. Okay. Some books call this 1 minus P as Q. So this is called as Q also. So now I see here either two answers should be applicable over here, either 0 or 1. Remember, important point. There should be only two answers. For example, coin. Suppose if I toss a coin, throw a coin in the air. Okay. So what are the possibilities? Only two answers, either head or tail. Will you clear your CAIIB? Only two answers. Either you will clear it or you won't. It's that simple. So only two answers should be possible. Okay. Suppose if I throw a dice, you know that dice we played in our school time. Nowadays also we played Ludo and all those games. So when you throw the dice, then what? Either you get, now there are 6 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll say how come 2? So that is possible. Either get 6 or other than 6. 6 or other. If I have to get 6 on the top or other, so it's again 2. So that this way these problems are framed. So there can be only two answers, remember, 0 or 1 as the outcome. P is the probability of success and Q is the probability of failure. Now success means what? Success means that probability which is asked in the question. If they ask you, if I throw a coin and what is the probability of getting a head, then that getting the head becomes the success and getting the tail becomes the failure. Okay. The mean of Bernoulli distribution is Ex equals to P and the variance is P into Q, means P into Q basically. So Bernoulli is P into Q. Okay, variance. Got it? Simple. Now this dp. So p equals to 1 for n equals to 1 and n equals to 0, it is q, 1 minus p. Okay. So remember this, either it is success or failure. Simple. Now next go to this binomial distribution. Now if I go on repeating Bernoulli 10 times, then that is called as binomial. In probability distribution theory and statistics, binomial distribution where parameters n and p is discrete probability distribution of number of successes in the sequence of n independent experiments, each asking for yes no questions and each with its own Boolean valued outcome. My God, such a big definition, isn't it? Success P and failure Q, 1 minus P. A single success or failure experiment is called as Bernoulli or a Bernoulli experiment, and a sequence of outcomes is called as Bernoulli process. For a single trial, that is n equal to 1. The binomial distribution is Bernoulli distribution. Now I'll explain you in simple words over here. What does it mean? If I go on, when I toss the coin only once, when I toss it only once, then it is Bernoulli. When I toss it more than once, greater than 1, then it becomes binomial. So basically logic is binomial. Logic over here is, if I go on repeating the Bernoulli distribution, I'll get binomial. I'll go on repeating it, okay, for n number of times. So that is the basic logic. Remember that much only. Each trial is independent in binomial because each trial is Bernoulli. Each trial is having its own head or tail, right? So that is binomial. Suppose if I ask you one question, I am tossing a coin 5 times. 5 times, huh? One time I am getting head. I got head over here. Then again I got head second time. Third time also I got head. So now fourth time, can you guarantee me? Everyone type in the comment section. 3 times I have got a head. Now fourth time, can you guarantee me that I'll get a head again? Just type head or tail, or you don't know. Yes or no. Just type yes or no. Can you guarantee me that you'll get a head again over here? You can't guarantee me. Why? Because each trial is independent. Suppose if I get 2 times head, I can't guarantee that third time I'll get a head. Fourth time I'll get a head. Fifth time I'll get a head. So that's why binomial means each time it's a Bernoulli experiment. And each trial is independent. Okay. Now before going ahead, everyone scan these QR codes. This blue one is for our LinkedIn channel. This black one is for our YouTube channel. And this other one, green one, or this blue, this is for our Instagram channel. You should join all these channels, LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as YouTube, because we provided various free YouTube series, number one. Secondly, we provide with free question banks, free tests on this channel. So that's why join immediately. Okay. Now, binomial, this is the formula for binomial. NCR into P raised to R, Q raised to N minus R, or X we call it. So NCX, P raised to X, Q raised to N minus X. N is number of trials. X is the successes required, successes required. Okay. P is the probability of getting success in each trial, single trial, and Q is the failure, probability of getting the failure. So this is binomial. Now, if you go on in Poisson, in probability distribution theory and statistics, the Poisson distribution is a discrete probability distribution that expresses the probability of given number of events occurring in fixed intervals of time or space if these events occur with a constant mean rate. Now one thing I'll clarify over here, Poisson distribution. Remember, in exam you will always face the problem like how to identify this problem is of Bernoulli, binomial, or Poisson. How to identify that? So to identify that, remember, in binomial, you will always get each trial should be independent. Very important. Each trial means you shouldn't be able to guarantee the next trial whether I'll get head or tail. And for Poisson, always remember there will be something constant over here. Fixed interval, something constant. Okay. Something fixed, something constant, like the like suppose example, you are getting some virus. Every 2 hours you are getting almost 3 deaths, or 3 patients, why deaths? Okay, 3 patients every 2 hours I am getting. So this is a constant phenomena. So Poisson will always see this constant phenomena. For example, electricity in a city or in an area, every day 3 hours electricity is not there. So this is a constant phenomena. From when you get such problems, you understand that it's a Poisson problem. What is the formula for Poisson series? The formula for Poisson is this: lambda raised to x, you can call it, or e raised to minus lambda upon x factorial. Okay. What is x required? X equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever is required. Lambda is a constant thing happening, which is happening constantly. 2 hours, every 2 hours, electricity is gone. Per day 2 hours electricity is not there. So that is a constant thing. And E is known as Euler's constant. It is 2.72 roughly. 2.718, it's a big number, but you can consider it 2.72, simple. Okay. So this is Poisson. So binomial formula, what is the formula for binomial? NCR P raised to R Q raised to N minus R, right? What is the formula for this? Poisson, lambda raised to X, or R you can call it. Here, some books call it R, some books call it S, one and the same thing. Lambda raised to R, E raised to minus lambda upon R factor. Okay, what is R or X? It is what is asked in the exam. Okay, so that was the theory part. Now we'll solve some numericals. Okay, so theory, everyone got it? Type yes in the comment section. You must, from this lecture, you must at least understand the formula. And for binomial and this Poisson. Okay, so have you got this now? Shall we move ahead now? Type yes in the comment section. Everyone, yes. Type yes. Okay, move on. Chalo. A coin is thrown 3 times. What is the probability that at least one head is obtained? See, a coin is thrown 3 times. 3 times I am throwing the coin. So 3 times means what? Suppose if I throw the coin only once. Here, once I throw the coin. What is the possibility of getting the answer? Means either I'll get what? Head or tail, right? Simple. If I throw the coin only once, I'll get head or tail. So what are the total outcomes? 2. If I throw the coin 2 times, so again I might get head or tail or head, anything, isn't it? So again, what are the outcomes? 2. Right? Now third time, 3 times I am throwing. Third time. So now look at this. The outcomes over here are 2. So 2 times I am throwing it. But the answer doesn't, third time the answer is not 6. So if I throw the coin 3 times, the outcome is, remember, 2 raised to here. 2 is the outcome for each raised to 3. So the outcome will be 8 possibilities. Now look at these possibilities. See this. 8 possibilities, because I am joining them 3 times. 3 times I am throwing the coin. So there are 8 possibilities available. Suppose if I throw the coin 4 times, then it is 2 raised to 4, 16. Okay. So now find the answer. It is either HHH. See here, 3 times I am throwing the coin. So I can get all the heads also, or head tail, or head tail head tail head, tail head, tail head, and all these. Here you see this. These are 8 possibilities available. Now what is asked in the question? What is the probability that at least one head is obtained? At least one head. So now am I having one head over here? Yeah, I am having more than one head. So this is okay. This is okay. Head, tail head, okay. Tail head, okay. Tail head, okay. One head, at least one head I must get. This also. This is not okay. Because here I am getting tail. So this is not okay. So how many are the required successes over here? See here, at least one head. So what is the formula for probability? Probability is always the success. Probability equals to success, or P, success basically, upon sample space, total number of elements, total number of sample points, means whatever are the sample points available, or whatever the sample space. So what is the sample space over here? Sample space means total number of outcomes. So how many outcomes are there? 8. So here I am getting 8 outcomes. How many successes are required here? At least one head. So it is 7 successes. So my probability becomes 7. 7 upon 8. So that is my answer. 7 upon 8. Right? Now suppose if I ask you, find the probability. Everyone type in the comment section now. Everyone got this problem by now? Got it? Everyone? Now if I ask you, what is the probability that you will get no head? No, I don't want any head now. So at least one head was 7 upon 8. So no head means what? No head. Suppose if you get this question in exam, no head. How will you solve this? It is 1 minus P. 1 minus P. So 1 minus 7 upon 8. So it is 1 upon 8. That is the answer for no head. Okay. If I ask you, I want at least two heads. Two heads. So in that case, what can be the possibility? At least I am talking, at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are the answers. At least two heads, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I ask you two heads, then what will be the possibility? Two heads. So it is, denominator is 8, but here it is 4. So it is 1 by 2. This is the way we must solve these numericals. Okay, at least two heads. If I ask you, you should get at least 3 heads. At least 3 heads. Then what will be the answer? Now you type in the comment section. At least 3 heads. I want the answer for at least 3 heads. Everyone. Yes, at least 3 heads. What is the answer? At least 3. Yeah. See, there's only one. 1 upon 8. Because everyone else is having 2 heads. At least 3 heads means only one. Right? Everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests. Whatever study material is required for us, including the classes, books, tests, you get it over here only. So download it right now. Download this app. Share it with your friends. Okay. Find the probability of getting a numbered card when the card is drawn from a pack of 52 cards. Now I want a numbered card. Okay. Numbered card. Now how many numbered cards are there? Firstly tell me. And total is 52. Okay. First remember the probability. Formula for probability is what? Success. Okay. Upon total. Right? Sample space. So total is simple. Total you have got it 52. Right? Total is 52 cards. What about the success? Success is what? Numbered card. Now, how many numbered cards are there? In a pack of 52 cards, how many numbered cards? Here. Numbered cards are, what are numbered cards? Which are having numbers. So, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up to 10, you are having all the numbered cards. After 10, what do you have? You have the jack, you have the queen, you have the king, and you have the ace. So, these are all called as what's here. Remember, there are 3 types of cards. One is numbered. Okay. Second one is, what is this? Anyone knows? Second one? Yes, face card is there, but this is not the answer. Honor card is the answer. Honor card means jack, queen, king, and ace. And last one is face card. Face cards are 3. Only jack, queen, and king. No ace is there. Does ace have a face card? Ace means that Ika, we call it, right? Does it have a face? No. So here what do I want numbered? Numbered means how many are there? 9. 2 to 10. So there are 9. But 9 in 1. So similarly you have 4 types of cards, right? So 9 to the 36. So answer becomes 36 upon 52. 36 upon 52. So you go on dividing it. It is what? 4. 4 9 are 4 13. So this is your answer, 9 by 13. Everyone got this here? This is very important concept to understand. Okay, you guys should understand this very properly. Got it? Everyone clear? So these were the numericals which I had told you. Here we were to do theory and numericals. Here all the numericals are not possible to be done in this half an hour class. Okay, we're in the scholar series of ABM. Here we are covering important theory, numericals, and objective questions. So follow the series from the start. Let's start. So today we'll be studying some part of this. We'll be studying some theory and some part of the numerical over here. Okay. So there are 2 main areas of inferential statistics. Now this is an important topic in your this ABM. Okay, means this estimation. Okay. Inferential means from which you can draw the inferences. One is estimation and second is testing of hypothesis. Estimation means what? I am doing sitting on the bench work, means sitting over here. Okay. So estimating, doing specifically on the calculations, and testing of hypothesis means what? I'll assume something and go on the field and then find out the real answer. Estimation means doing the calculations more. This is going on the field more. So estimating parameters. This means taking a statistic from your sample data and using it to say something about the population parameter. Now look at this. Taking the statistic from your sample data means something which I have collected already. I'll be using that and estimating something about the population. Now what do you mean by this concept? Okay, let me explain you. Say this. Suppose if this is, let's say, my state. Okay, let's say Delhi. Okay, this is my Delhi. So let's say I have to do a survey of let's say 1 lakh people in Delhi. 1 lakh. Okay, people in Delhi. So will I be able to do 1 lakh people survey over here? Means not possible. So what will I do? I'll take samples over here from 4 corners of Delhi. Okay, and find out whatever I require. Suppose if I require the salaries of these 1 lakh people or the persons of Delhi. Okay, I require the average salary of Delhi. Okay, so in that case, is it possible for me to take it from the entire population? Go to every house and check, oh, what is the salary? Not possible. So what will I do? I'll take samples from, let's say, 4 corners. Here, there can be more corners also. Find out the salaries and then apply that using it to say something about the population. So apply it to the entire Delhi. Okay, that's what is estimation. Now, what are mutually exclusive events? Mutually exclusive means what? The things are mutually exclusive and that are mutually exclusive are not able to occur simultaneously. So simultaneously they won't occur at all. Okay, means what? Can it occur simultaneously that you pass also and you fail also in any exam? No. These are exclusive events. Either you pass or you fail. Okay. In business, this is typically concerning the undertaking of projects or allocating the budget. Now, what do you mean by this? Suppose, let's say I'll ask you one question. If you are having 1 lakh rupees, okay, 1 lakh, and these 1 lakh rupees, you can give it for either two of the projects. One is holiday, you want to go on a holiday, okay, or second is your studies. Let's say your studies, okay. So you want to give it for your studies. Somewhere you might have to go for studies and you require that 1 lakh rupees fees or anything. So where will you go? Both the things can't happen, right? Either you can have the cake in your hand or you can eat it. Both the things can't happen. So this is known as exclusive. So you'll have to select one of these. So definitely you'll select the studies. Of course, there might be someone who says holidays, 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 isn't it? Jokes apart, but studies is the main part, right? So in business, typically it is this is typically concerning the undertaking of projects and allocating the budget. Similarly, in companies also we face the same problem. Budget is limited and projects are many. If two things are not mutually exclusive, not means what? They can occur simultaneously. It means the existence and occurrence of one does not necessarily mean the other cannot exist. Okay, what do you mean by this? See here, whenever I say anything is exclusive, mutually exclusive, okay, then what does it mean? Both the things can't occur at the same time. But if they are not mutually exclusive, it means what? Both the things can coexist at the same time. Means what? I can have, see here, scoring a first class and passing. Scoring a first class and passing, both are not mutually exclusive. Why? Because I can pass as well as score in the first class, but passing and failing are mutually exclusive. Simple, got it? Type yes in the comment section if you have understood this concept. Type yes right now. Okay. So have you understood mutually exclusive? Number one. Number two, have you understood estimation? Then testing and hypothesis. This is not covered because this is not a part of your studies. Okay, I've just given you in brief what do you mean by this. Okay, but testing of hypothesis is not a part of your studies. Your part of studies is estimation. Okay, focus on whatever is there in the exam. Don't focus on too much knowledge. Okay, because otherwise what happens? Statistics is a huge topic. Everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, remember you get number one free YouTube series on all the subjects of JIB and CIB. All, specifically all. Okay. Secondly, you get the latest updates from IIBF. Now see here, it's exam time. IBF will start the notifications now. What? This exam postponed, that exam postponed. This timing changed, that timing changed. Something like that. This is a new type of questions we'll be adding something. So all these notifications which you have received are explained over here on Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. So subscribe to it, click on the bell icon, click on the like button, share it with your friends. Okay. Random experiment or trial. So what is this? This is the last definition for today. Then we'll be solving the numericals. Random experiment or trial. So an operation or experiment conducted under the identical conditions and which has number of possible outcomes is called as random experiment. So conducted under identical conditions. Identical means what? Which are similar. What do you mean by this? When we designed a COVID vaccine during the COVID time, India was the first country to design such a huge mass scale of COVID vaccine. How did we do it? Identical conditions. Whatever are the symptoms of COVID, whatever are the qualities of that COVID, that microbe, whatever was that, similar conditions were created in the lab, and then the this vaccine was tested. So that is known as identical. Chandrayaan, how was it succeeded? Identical conditions were first created in the lab, okay, which has a number of possible outcomes, right? Possible outcomes can be anything. Could have crashed like two, but it succeeded. Why? Because the identical conditions were so matching. They were created with so much of the in details that the crashing was 0% and possible outcomes. So number of possible outcomes is called as a random experiment. Okay. Tossing a coin, throwing a dice, selecting a card of packs. So these are all bookish examples. The latest examples are this COVID vaccine, designing a COVID vaccine, designing a Chandrayaan. These are all the latest examples. Okay. Now let's solve the numericals. Okay. Let's check these numericals. Okay. Simple ones, but in exam these come to you for 1 mark. Okay. Many a times 1 mark, but we get confused over here. These 1 marks are in your pocket actually. See this. What is the question? The percentage of marks obtained by a student in a monthly test are given below. So these are the 5 tests given. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And these are the percentages 69, 71, 73, 68, 74. Right. 5 tests, 5 marks. Based on the above table, find the probability of a student getting more than 70 of the student getting more than 70% marks in a test. So suppose if I take the test number 6, what is the question actually? Suppose if I take this test number 6 now, 6. What is the chance that the student will get more than 70%? That is the question. How will you understand this? Here, question is very simple. Forget the 6 now. Okay, we will focus on only 5. So, out of 5, total test is 5. Out of 5, how many are above 70? Above 70. So, above 70 is what? 3, right? So, above 70, greater than 70, it's 3, right? Total number of tests is what? Total. What are the total number of tests? 5. So, how to find the probability? Probability is always success. See here, probability equals to, you'll say, sir, this question is from probability. How come in this estimation chapter? Remember, all these questions are interlinked. They can be asked anywhere. Okay. So probability equals to what is success? Success upon sample space, right? SSL, right? It's sample space. Okay. So success is what? 3. Sample space is 5. So 3 by 5. So my answer will be 3 by 5 or 0.6, 60%, 0.6, or somebody can write 60%. Okay. So that is a 60% probability that the student will get in the test number 6 more than 70. That is the answer, isn't it? In how many ways one king can be selected from 52 cards? Again, here I have taken probability questions over here because they are mixed with these estimation chapters, and estimation questions are very simple. I have taken it separately. So in how many ways can you select one king from 52 cards? So again, the same question. Okay, I'll write it simple now. Probability equals to, I'll write it simple. Required, not even the success. What is required upon what is total? Okay, keep it very simple formula. In books, they have given this success upon sample space and all this. Keep it simple. What is required? One king. Okay, one king is required. So one king, in how many kings are there in a pack of 52 cards? So 4. So out of those 4, any king can come, isn't it? So the answer which I am getting over here, required. What is required for me? Means what are the chances of getting something what is required? So there are 4 chances, 4 kings. What is the total? Total is 52 cards. 52, right? So what is my answer then? 4 upon 52. So 1 upon 13. Whatever that answer will be, 1 upon 13, that probability is, right? So you can find it in points or keep it this much also. In exam, you divide it 1 by 13 and you'll get the answer. Okay. So that is basically, if you want, we can divide it also. Yeah. 0 point. What is that? 0. And then 100. 13 sevens, right? 7s are 91. Again 90 remains, right? So 13 6 are 78. Yeah. 6 0.076. Okay. Or you can keep it 1 by 13 also, depending on what is given in the exam. If in exam they give you 1 by 13, mark it 1 by 13. If they give you this much, mark this 0.0. If they give you in percentages, then it will be 7.6%. Okay. Am I right over here? Yeah. 0 0.0. Yeah, correct. Yeah. In how many ways one ace king can be selected from 52 cards? Now the probability is changing. See this, probability equals to what is required now? Required is one ace king. Ace. How many, see here, ace king, how many ace kings are there in the pack? Ace means there are 4 types of cards, right? Ace, heart, and what is the next one? Type in the comment section, everyone. Ace, heart, diamond, right? Diamond is the third one. And last one is what? We call it kilver in our Hindi language, right? So here we call it what? Ace, this 4 cards, whatever, okay? Those 4 cards. So how many ace kings are there? There's only one ace king. Kings are 4, but ace king is only 1. And what are the total number of cards? Total 52. So 1 by 52, that is your answer. Simple, isn't it? See, required over here, always remember, formula is simple, required upon total, right? Total is always the same in the cards. Required is what? It depends on what is asked. If they ask you 1 king, so 4 kings are available. 1 ace king, there is only 1 king available. If they ask you 1 diamond king, so again, only 1 king, right? So got it? Simple. In how many ways one joker can be selected from a pack of 52 cards? One joker. How can you select one joker from a pack of 52 cards? Again, probability equals to required upon total, right? What is required? One joker. How many jokers are there in the pack of 52 cards? How many jokers? Tell me, type in the comment section. How many jokers are there in the pack of 52 cards? There are 0. 0 jokers. Okay, because the 2 jokers which we have in the pack of cards are separate than these 52 cards. Okay, that's why the answer will be 0 upon 52. 0. That is the probability, isn't it? The largest and the smallest value of a data are 60 and 40 respectively. If the desired number of class intervals is 5, find a class width. This is a separate question. This is from chapter number 3. Okay, chapter number 3, module A. Okay, so class width is required. How to find out the class width? Class width equals to, look at this, width equals to, I'll give you a simple formula. Width equals to range upon number of classes, number. What is number of classes? This is simple 5. Okay, but what is the range? Range means what? Always remember, range means always the highest minus lowest. What is the highest number? 60. See here, largest and the smallest value. So 60 minus lowest 40. So 60 minus 40, that is 20. So what is my width now? Width equals to 20 upon 5. So that is equal to 4. Okay, so this is my answer. What do you mean by width? What do you actually mean by this word width? What has happened in this? Suppose if you get the answer 4, what do you mean by this? It means your classes are 60 to 64. Okay, then 65 to what will it say? 65, 66, 67, 68, 68. Okay, even this you can make it at 61. This is inclusive group, 61 to 64, 65 to 68, and so on. You can mark it up to, what is the last one? No, not 40. It is starting from 40. Okay, I started from 60. 41 to 44, right? Because its lowest is 41, right? 40. So 41 to 44, or you can start it from 40 also, 40 to 44, then 44 to 48. This is known as exclusive group. When the ends are matching, this is called as exclusive. This above one was inclusive. Ends were not matching. Okay. So this is the meaning of this. You can go up to 60 over here. Last one will be what? 56 to 60. Okay. That is the answer. Okay. So now everyone.
Hello everyone, welcome to Officer Adda 24/7. My name is Suprabha and I'm your ABM English Medium mentor. So today we are going to have some question from the module D, right? As in the English medium batch also, that was started yesterday only, right? And in that batch we have already started module B, that is module D, that is. Okay. So in ABM there are total, right? There are total 4 modules are there, and yesterday we have started module D, that is, right? So module A and module B, right? Module C and module D. So yesterday in your victory batch, the timing is, paid batch timing is 8 to 9 p.m. and I have started in victory batch, that is ABM from module D, right? Then thereafter I'm going to start your module B, and after that Vishal sir, he is going to take your module A and module C, right? So this is the total 7 chapters you have in your module D, that is. And when we are talking about the weightage part, it will be having approx 25 marks of weightage, right? So this is your question number 1 from the audit chapter, compliance audit. The legal audit of title document required in case of public sector bank for rupees above, that is option A is 2 crore and above, B is 3 crore and above, C is 4 crore and above, and D is 5 crore and above, right? So this is your legal audit. Normally bank, PSB, that is public sector bank, they usually conduct the legal audit, right? But what is the limit? What is the limit of the legal audit? When there is a credit of 5 crore and above. So what is a legal audit is legal audit is all about? That is actually the process of verification of document and record of the company, right? So legal audit, what? Legal audit in case of the amount is 5 crore and above. In that case, every bank, RBI actually in 2013, they have issued one circular. In 2013, that is, they have issued one circular, and they have already stated that in case of any loan which is above 5 crore, okay, in year of 2013, they have issued the circular, and they have asked bank to do the legal audit of all the loan account which is over the 5 crore and above on a quarterly basis, right? So every quarter, right? Every quarter, quarterly basis, if the loan amount, this is a very, very important question. The loan amount is, if it is 5 crore and above, right? Then RBI has asked all the bank to do the legal audit, where the loan account is actually the 4 crore and above, and the legal audit that will be conducted on a quarterly basis, right? And they have already asked the bank to do the re-verification of the all the title deed. Okay, so they have to do the re-verification of all the title deed with the respective authority. So that is actually the regular audit exercise till the loan was that the loan will be fully repaid. Okay, so that will be the quarterly exercise. If any loan amount which is above 5 crore and above, the RBI has already asked the bank to do the legal audit of all the loan account which is over the 5 crore and above on a quarterly basis. So that audit will be conducted on a quarterly basis, right? And apart from that, bank, they have the RBI, they have asked bank to do the re-verification of all the title deed in case of loan which is above 5 crore and above. So they have to do the re-verification of all the title deed, right? That is re-verification of all the title deed of loan amount which is 5 crore and above. Till this exercise will be the regular exercise quarterly basis till the loan will be fully repaid, right? So this is the condition. So what is the, this is the, actually the answer is what? The answer is that is 5 crore and above. So this is actually a very important question, right? And you can see that this is a very, very important question because this is from the RBI circular. In 2013, RBI, they have issued this circular. Now we will have the second question, that is from the chapter number 32, right? Fraud and vigilance. The lodgement of complaint for fraud amount which is above 500 million is required to register with which of the following? That is Anti-Corruption Branch, New Delhi, Economic Offence Wing, CBI, BSFC, Banking Security and Fraud Cell, CBI Joint Director, Headquarter, New Delhi. So what is the right answer? Tell me. This question actually IIBF, they have asked this question in the exam of, that is December. In December, the ABM exam, they have asked the same question, that the lodgement of complaint for fraud amount that is 500 million is required to register with which of the following? You can see this table, right? So there are two categories. Number one is private bank, right? And the foreign bank, right? So this is the category when the amount is 10,000 and above and 0. million and above, okay? 0.1 to 10 million, then 10 million plus. So where you have to report with the, right? You have to report with the SFIO, right? You have to report with the SFIO, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So this is the case of, right? This is the case in case of public sector bank and the private sector foreign bank. So this is the SFIO is what? That is Serious Fraud Investigation Office, right? The full form of SFIO is, that is Serious Fraud Investigation Office, right? So in case of private bank and foreign bank, if the amount is 10 million and above, right? If any fraud is occurred, right? Any complaint, they have to file the same complaint with the, they have to report the fraud to the SFIO, that is Serious Fraud Investigation Office, right? Now we are talking about the public sector bank. What is a public sector bank? Here we have the, right? These are the category where the amount is 10,000 to 0.1. This is the 0.1 to 30 million and this is the 30 million and above, right? So the all the fraud complaint that will be lodged with the Economic Offence Wing and the Anti-Corruption Branch in case of 0.1 million to, that is 30 to 250 million, right? So this is the case. Economic Offence Wing is what? That is actually in case of if there is a staff is involved. Sorry, if there is a, we are not doing that, who is involved. Then ACB is what? Audit Corruption Branch, right? Anti-Corruption Branch where actually staff is involved, right? So this is the case, right? And it should be lodged by the regional head, that is from the zonal manager. He will be registered the complaint with the Economic Offence Wing and Audit Anti-Corruption Branch, right? Now we have the case of 250 to 500 million, right? Here we have to report this complaint with the CBI and that too with the BSFC, Banking Security and Fraud Cell, right? Banking Security and Fraud Cell, right? And if the amount is 500 plus, then the complaint should be registered with the Joint Director, CBI, Headquarter, New Delhi. So this is the case. So the answer of this question, the question is, I am going to repeat the question again. The question is the lodgement of complaint for fraud amount which is above 5 million is required to registered with which of the following, right? So option A is Anti-Corruption Branch, New Delhi. Option B is Economic Offence Wing, CBI. The third is Banking Security, that is Fraud Cell. The office is in Bangalore. Banking Security and Fraud Cell, that is CBI. And CBI Joint Director, Headquarter, New Delhi. So the answer is, of course, these are easy one. The CBI Joint Director, New Delhi, right? So please remember this table. This table is very, very important, right? I'll just show you 1 second, right? This is the table is all about. If the amount is 10 to 0. million, then the state police is enough. If the amount is 0.1 to 30 million, then Economic Offence Wing and Anti-Corruption Branch, and the complaint should be lodged by the zonal manager. If the amount is 30 to 250, right? So, and if the amount is 250 to 500 million, then BSFC cell of CBI. And the last one is if the amount is 500 million and above, then the complaint will be lodged with the Joint Director, New Delhi, right? Now we have the third question. The third question is identify the oldest phone hacking technique used by the hacker to make free call. Tell me which one is the right answer. You are seeing that there are 4 types of fraud are there, right? So that is actually what is the right answer here? What can be the right answer? See, this is actually one of the oldest method, right? And the answer is here, that is phreaking, right? So what is the meaning of phreaking, right? The meaning of phreaking is this is actually the oldest phone hacking technique normally used by the hacker to make the free call, which is called it as a phreaking. So phreaking is what? Phreak is what basically? The phreak is actually, that is someone, right? That is actually the term normally used to include anyone who break or tries to break the security of any network. So phreaking is what? It is a slang word for the breaking actually. Okay? It is the slang word for breaking, right? We called it as a phreaking. Phreaking means what? See, the phreaking means actually the phreak is what? That is someone who break into the telephone network illegally. So normally he is the person, right, who break telephone network right illegally, in a illegal way, right? That is we called it as a phreak. So normally they have to make the free long distance, they will make usually the free long distance phone call, or they normally tap the phone line, right? And sometimes they include anyone, it is already about anyone who break or tries break the security of network. So it is basically the slang word which we normally use for the breaking, right? So this is actually the slang word actually, okay, a very famous. And so the answer is here, that is phreaking. The fourth number question is definition of forgery is given under which section of IPC 1860, that is. See, there is a difference between the forgery and the fraud, right? A huge difference between the forgery and the fraud. Fraud is what? To deceive someone, to cheat someone, okay? While forgery is what? Forgery is actually, that is when you are doing the alteration in the genuine document, okay? So forgery is what? That is actually you are submitting the false document, or maybe you are giving the alteration to the you're doing the alteration in the genuine document. So that is actually, and you are doing because of the criminal intention to cause damage to any person, right? So normally forgery is defined under section 463 and even 464, but in your book it is written that 463. Okay, otherwise it is included in the 464 or also in the Indian Penal Code 1860, the definition of forgery. So what is the forgery is all about? The offense of forgery is making the false document with the criminal intention to cause damage to any person. Only those act of the forgery which are accompanied by the element of deception and injury can be said to be covered by the definition of forgery under section 463 of Indian Penal Code, right? So that is a forgery. So there is a difference between the forgery and fraud. Forgery will lead to the fraud, definitely, right? Forgery, somehow it will lead to the fraud in the future, right? Now we are having the fourth question, that is fifth question, sorry. What is aimed at deterring the occurrence of the lapses, right? So we have the three type of vigilance. What is a vigilance actually? What is the meaning of vigilance? See, there is a difference in the vigilance and non-vigilance. So what is a vigilance actually? Vigilance is all about when you are carefully watching the possible danger or difficulties, right? So normally we are having the three types here in the vigilance. The number one is, that is punitive, okay? Then preventive. Then the third one is the deductive. Okay? Punitive is what? Punitive vigilance is actually when the fraud is already occurred. Preventive is what? You are trying to prevent that fraud will not be occur. Okay? Prevention type, precaution type. Deductive is what? You are trying to investigate the fraud, that how that fraud was happened actually. Okay? So there are three type of fraud. The punitive, there are three type of vigilance. The punitive vigilance is what? The punitive vigilance is actually that normally comes into the picture when the corruption, when the fraud has already been committed, and normally now punishment is already granted to the deterrent effect on other. So normally it is why we are doing the punishment, why we are giving the punishment, because it will deter the occurrence of the lapses, right? So that the same type of lapses will not occur in the future. So it will actually it comes into the picture when the corruption or fraud has already committed, that was. Okay, fraud is already done, it is already committed now, and the punishment they have already granted to have the deterrent effect on other, right? So that same fraud will not occur in the future again, right? Now, so this is the, of course, answer is punitive vigilance. Now, what is a preventive vigilance, right? Preventive vigilance is actually, that means you are trying to reduce the occurrence of the lapses, right? You are trying to find out that the punitive vigilance is what? Punitive is basically you are trying to do that the fraud will not be occur, right? That is a preventive vigilance, right? You are trying to prevent actually that fraud. Deductive is what? You are trying to find out. So this is the vigilance is aimed at identifying and verifying the occurrence of the lapses. So number one is punitive, number two is preventive, number three is deductive. So here the answer is when we are talking about vigilance is aimed at identifying and verifying the occurrence of the lapses. So that is, we called it as a deductive vigilance, right? Now what we are doing in the deductive vigilance, we are trying to find out that whether the fraud is occurred or not, and identifying and verifying that what actually occurred. So normally investigation part comes, okay? I'll explain you this procedure in the paid batch also. This is actually from your chapter 32, last chapter of the module, right? So now, so we have done enough question today, and again I'm going to a day after tomorrow I'm going to conduct this session again, and we will continue with the all the question from the module D itself, right? So first of all, please subscribe our channel if you are watching the first time, right? And you should go with the, that is Adda 24/7, right? This is the GIB and CIB category you have. That CIB June 2024. You have the Mahapack 2.0, then buy now, and you have to go Y666, then apply 78% discount you will be getting, right? Validity is 6 months and 78%. So if you will be using the Adda application, then definitely you will be getting the extra 1% discount here, right? So this is the case, right? Y666, this code you can use here. And apart from that, yesterday we have started our new batch, that is victory batch, right? So ABM, BFM and BRBL we have already started 3 subject. So Y666, this code you need to apply, 78% discount you will be getting in the victory batch, right? So this is the batch. If you want to crack the CIB in the one and single go, then you can go with the victory batch, that is we have already started yesterday with the subject of ABM, that I have started, BFM and BRBL. So 3 subjects are already started yesterday itself, right? Chaliye, so take care and bye bye. Thank you and bye bye. Take care.